anything you'd like to be asked, no one asks, right? If there isn't, that's okay.
No, I think one of the questions I like to go back, I like to answer the cultural question. I like the questions about Floyd's lifestyle, which he's entitled to live. In other words, he's not stealing money. He's earning money, and he can spend the money any way he pleases. And the difference between his lifestyle and Pacquiao's lifestyle, with all the charities that Manny contributes to, that is an essential difference in what's happening in the world. That's what people are talking about this 1%. People who make extraordinary amounts of money and are becoming richer and richer and spending it on things like yachts and mansions and other things. Not bad, because it helps stimulate the economy. And the other point of view is that we have to take sizable amounts, even from those people, involuntarily by higher taxes, and feed and do things for the less fortunate. That's what this fight, in essence, symbolizes. It's the people that say, no matter how much these CEOs are making as against their employees, as vis-a-vis their employees, no matter how much these people are making on Wall Street, God forbid, don't tax them, let them keep their money, and let them spend it on things to stimulate the economy. Or the other position is you have to raise taxes on those people to raise funds to improve Medicare and other security blanket that people have to have to live decent lives. That's what this fight symbolizes. And I mean, I don't want to get dramatic, but that's why this fight has a similar type cultural as the Ali Fraser fight, where Ali couldn't fight for 3.5 years and opposed the Vietnam War, and the country was turning to his belief. And Fraser was, unfortunately for Joe, was made to be like a spokesman for the war, which he wasn't. So there was a huge culture clash in that fight. That's what really makes an event like a prize fight really super interesting, besides who has a better left or a right or a better defense and that kind of thing. That is good. Let the sports writers canoodle about that. But for me, the cultural issues are what's important.
Well, you know, in a way, I thought about this too. I know that Manny gives away a lot of money. God bless him for it. But one of the things he's doing, and he certainly has a right. He can be taxed plenty, 36% for his purse here. But one of the things he's doing is he's transferring money from the U.S. and giving it to poor people in Philippines.
Yeah, so what?
And he's the conduit.
But it's after-tax money.
And right, I think it's a nice thing, but it's what's happening.
It's true.
Because if you come from a poor country, you want to help them.
That's right. And as a Filipino, his first obligation is to look after the people in the Philippines, the poor people from whence he came.
And that's a corrupt society. That's the only bad thing about it all. Bob, I'm sorry. Can you clarify? So you think this is a political fight? You think?
No, I think the cultural ramifications in this fight are what people are beginning to understand is what makes it so interesting.
Are you on the right side of that equation?
I don't know what's right or wrong. I know which side I'm on.
Which is?
I'm on Pacquiao's side.
Thanks, Bob.
That cultural significance.
Excuse a little bit about Floyd. You know, everyone talks about Floyd. That he's very technical, but he's not a very exciting style. And I was just wondering from your perspective, why does he sell?
Because he's very, very clever the way he markets himself. So a lot of people support his fights because they like him, they like that image. And a lot of people hate him, but still buy his fights because they want to see him lose.
So is that kind of like that wrestling mentality that you have to play the heel and that's what sells it?
Well, not really.
No.
But he's been very clever at the way he markets. He uses social media very well. You gotta give him credit.
How much of that is dependent on the undefeated record? Because if he was like had 1 or 2 record
Nobody
losses,
gives a shit. Nobody cares about it. It's the persona. It's the way he sells himself, which is responsible for his popularity.
but I guess what I'm trying to say, would that persona still be able to sell with a loss or 2 losses?
I don't know. Who knows? I don't know. I don't know what. I mean, he's very clever marketing, so he might be able to pull it off with 2 losses or 3 losses. I don't know. I don't know. I wouldn't write him off.
And then just to follow up, what makes Manny sell? He's very popular, you know, the ultimate good guy. But
He is. Manny Pacquiao is somebody that people admire, and he doesn't do anything so they wouldn't admire him. And he's become larger than life because he's a Filipino, has this tremendous Filipino fan base, and because of the way he conducts himself.
what about his charisma too? Because I know some people call him like the smiling warrior. There's just something about him that's...
Sure, I think all of that helps, yeah. And it's the whole package.
You said you've been fond of him. Yeah, you've been fond of him, and you put him up there with Ali. What is it about him that makes him special to be
As a person, I couldn't give a damn. That's not right. I mean, I'm not referring to his boxing ability. I'm referring to him as a person. And I find him to be one of the best people that I've ever run into.
Thank you, Bob. Thank you.
Maybe
I was just going to ask you about what makes Manny sell? What's been his appeal? That able to cross over to just boxing?
to transcend boxing.
Transcend boxing, yeah.
It is funny because I think a lot of brands say, oh, well, I won't be affiliated with boxing, but I will go for Manny Pacquiao. And then the question becomes why? Because not only is he the best, arguably the best boxer in the world, he is humble. He's a family man. He's fun. He's a great brand ambassador. Energy. He will go over the Liverpool brands. He will meet the brand CEOs. Like, do all these kinds of things. And I mean, that's what a brand wants, right? A brand wants an upstanding citizen, a guy who's charismatic, a guy who's well versed in a lot of things. He can be a congressman, a scuba diver, a basketball player, a singer, one of the best boxers in the world, and a family man. So
And a lot of things to relate to because of all these things he's involved with.
yeah. So even if people don't really want to be affiliated with combat sports, they still go along with it.
And it's also his persona too. I guess I heard Lee always call him the smiling warrior because of his smile and he just seems...
I want to say, I mean, he's an infectious man, but he also he's the fan favorite when he loses. I mean, and the public knows that, right? So they feel okay putting their arms around him, even if he loses, because if they, even if he loses, those fans are still going to say, we love him.
Well, yeah, because you're not.
Now I'm going to take a look at the counter.
It's a lot more transparent that way.
Why does Floyd sell so well?
I don't know if that's just the way that the sports
Well, I would argue the opposite. I mean, Floyd's corporate America
the way that
I wouldn't
sport
say
has,
sells extremely
the way the recipe
because
is defined,
you know, I don't think he does a lot of endorsement deals, and that could be just because he doesn't want to, or it could be lack of interest from the corporate America. I don't really know that.
I guess I was thinking about sell in terms of pay-per-view numbers too.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, again, he's arguably one of the best boxers in the world too. So you know, it becomes, and I think Floyd is a fantastic marketer. I think you know, Manny markets in a different way, and Manny's a fantastic marketer. But Floyd gets out there and he markets his own way, and he uses social media really well, and he does a lot of things to garner a lot of fans and keep his image out there and. He garner support every day, so you know he does a good job at it.
Now I was going to ask you this. I don't know if this is fair or not, but it seems like Floyd, because he can be ostentatious, he could be the guy that people cheer against. And to me, that always reminds me of like wrestling, because when you play the heel, the people are passionately watching, and then they're watching hoping that you'll lose. Is that fair to say that's part of Floyd's appeal, or do you think that's too simplistic? Yeah.
In this, you know, Floyd likes to talk about smack. So when you have someone who talks smack, you think, okay, well, I'd love for him to, you know. I think usually in boxing it's interesting because people are very supportive of the winner, whoever it is, or the loser. In this case, I think a lot of people would love to see Manny Pacquiao win this fight for many reasons. Not only Manny Pacquiao, but for the fact that you know Floyd's never lost this fight, and he talks a lot of smack. So I mean, you know, we'll see if he wins. I mean, win or lose, though, it's all. You know, we hope it's a great event. We hope that there's a lot of fun in the event. We hope it's a crowd-pleasing event, and that the crowds will return and promote the sport of boxing as a whole.
Sounds great. Floyd was, Manny was great yesterday on Highly Questionable. I thought he was really funny. I thought this was great. Probably the best interview I've seen from him in a
Sometimes he gets on a roll, right?
Yeah. Well, I think it's also the right guys interviewing him too.
Yeah. Ask him questions.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
No problem.